Have you heard about the Ivana case in Kuala Lumpur that rocked the world? This case is packed with dark secrets and confusion that still haunts many. Today we're diving into the tragedy that raises suspicion and questions. What really happened to Ivana? Join us as we uncover this mystery, digging into every detail that's been left untold. Ready to dig deeper and uncover hidden truths? Drop a yes or no in the comments if you're curious about this case before we get started. Don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video so more people can join the search for answers. Be part of the mystery with I Felt the Dark. Now let's kick off our journey through the bustling streets of Kuala Lumpur, amidst the city's hustle and its dazzling nightlife. Here, the tragic fate of a young model ends in a puzzling situation. This tragedy has sparked a new chapter, blurring the lines between accident and murder, with the case surrounded by huge suspicions from family, loved ones, and unanswered questions. Ivana Smith, a rising star in the fashion world, lost her life in the midst of a bright future, now shrouded in a fog of mystery. The tragic events surrounding Ivana Smith turned into a nightmare, sparking wild speculation as investigators pieced together her final moments and sifted through conflicting statements. The chilling question remains: was her death a tragic accident or a malicious act deliberately hidden? Ivana Smith was born on January 14, 1999 in Kaard, Netherlands, to Marcelino Smith and Karen Smith, who are from Indonesia and the Netherlands. She had an older brother named Randy. Raised by her grandparents, Hendrik Smith and Susan, in Malaysia from a young age, Ivana spent her elementary school years in Penang. With her charming looks and stable social life in Penang up until 10th grade, she later returned to the Netherlands to pursue acting and modeling. However, Ivana soon felt homesick and went back to Malaysia, where she grew up with her family and friends. During her upbringing, Ivana learned guitar, piano, taekwondo, and took catwalk lessons. She loved the spotlight and started competing in beauty pageants at 13. By 15, she was a runner-up in Supermodel Malaysia. As she matured, Ivana began a modeling career, working with big brands like Chanel. Aware of the dark side of the industry, Ivana's grandparents kept a close eye on her, accompanying her to work and enforcing a strict curfew to shield her from negative social circles and keep her life on track. Ivana's grandma kept a tight watch on her diet, making sure she avoided unhealthy food until she was 13, while providing balanced nutrition through vegetarian meals. Ivana saw Kuala Lumpur as the perfect place to boost her modeling career, with opportunities like magazine covers, fashion shows, and ad campaigns. The city was also a hotspot where aspiring models could become celebrities by frequenting nightclubs that were casting locations. Directors and company reps often gathered there to scout for talent. While Ivana was looking for her big break in the modeling world, she met Lucas Kramer, a 21-year-old broker working for an American shipping company. Their relationship quickly blossomed, and they started dating and living together. According to Lucas, Ivana was always happy, and their relationship was going well. Ivana even told her mom over the phone that she was very happy with Lucas. Their relationship seemed perfect until December 6, 2017. That night, after dinner with Lucas, Ivana decided to go out for drinks with her model friends. Lucas, feeling tired from work, chose to stay in. Ivana reassured him she'd be home before 1 a.m. and left around 9 or 10 p.m. Later, Lucas said Ivana told him she was going out with some model friends. It was a Wednesday night, and Lucas had worked until 8 p.m. When Ivana left, she said she was going out for a few hours and just for a few drinks. She hugged Lucas and said, "I love you," before heading out. Lucas then went to the gym for half an hour and went to bed, not knowing it would be the last time he saw Ivana. The next morning, Lucas woke up at 6:30 a.m. and found Ivana missing from his side. He called her, and Ivana answered right away, assuring him she was okay. She said she'd had a long night and was at a friend's place. In reality, Ivana had gone to a nightclub with an American couple she'd met at a party. The couple, Alex Johnson, an American tycoon and founder of Everest World, a cryptocurrency company, and his wife, Luna, believed Ivana's lie that she was 26 instead of 18. They left their only daughter with a babysitter and went out drinking with Ivana until 3 a.m. They were seen enjoying themselves and even kissing. The Johnsons are believed to have spent the night with Ivana in a drug-fueled party atmosphere until the morning. Around 5:22 a.m., Alex Johnson was spotted carrying Ivana in his arms as they headed towards their apartment at Cap Square. According to Dutch media reports, Alex and Luna Johnson's party was packed with guests, and drugs were reportedly used during the event. Ivana even took a selfie with Luna and sent it to Lucas around 7:30 a.m. Lucas didn't know Luna or Alex and hadn't heard Alex's name in Ivana's previous messages. In the message, Ivana mentioned she'd be taking a break and sleeping. Lucas didn't think much of it since Ivana was supposed to work that day. Later, Lucas got a call from Luna on Ivana's phone. Luna introduced herself as Ivana's friend and assured Lucas that Ivana was relaxing with her. Lucas wasn't suspicious and continued with his day, including going to work. Things took a turn when Lucas received a selfie of Ivana and Luna with the caption, "Chilling at a friend's place." This surprised Lucas because Ivana usually didn't use phrases like that. She typically just said she was at a friend's house without any extra details like chilling or friends. Lucas's suspicions grew when Ivana didn't return home after he got back from work and he hadn't heard from her. The tragedy struck when Lucas received a call from one of Ivana's model friends informing him that Ivana had passed away. Ivana was found naked and dead around 3 p.m. that day after falling from Alex and Luna's 20th floor apartment onto the 6th floor balcony. The incident was classified as sudden death, suggesting Ivana might have either committed suicide or accidentally fallen from the 20th floor. The autopsy revealed that Ivana had consumed alcohol and used drugs at the time of her death, which the police say supports the conclusion that she fell accidentally. Authorities also investigated Alex and Luna, who claimed they were unaware of the tragic event because they were asleep. Luna said that after a sexual encounter in the morning, she got their daughter ready for school while Ivana was lying in bed with Alex, who was intoxicated. Luna mentioned she briefly spoke to Ivana while getting her child ready. When Luna returned to the apartment around 8:15 a.m., she found Ivana still in bed. Luna then woke Ivana and they had sex again before going back to sleep. Luna admitted that she woke up around 12:25 p.m. and only saw Ivana's belongings scattered around the room before going back to sleep without thinking much about Ivana's absence. The couple only learned about Ivana's sudden death when the police showed up at their door around 5 p.m. However, neither Lucas nor Ivana's family accepts that her death was an accident or suicide. They believe it was a carefully planned murder. Ivana's uncle, Fred Winold, insists that Ivana had no reason to commit suicide as she was successful and happy. She had everything going for her. "We don't believe she would have committed suicide or that this was an accident," Fred said, stressing the seriousness of the incident. Fred also found the language in the texts Lucas received suspicious, noting that Ivana never used such terms. "I'm sure that message wasn't sent by Ivana. It's not her usual way of speaking. We've never heard her use the word chick before," he added. Ivana's grandfather, Frederick Smith, who raised her with love, was also shocked by the news. "It's a nightmare I never wanted to witness. We don't believe Ivana fell from the 20th floor and was found naked on the 6th floor. Where are her shoes and underwear?" Frederick said. He also believes Ivana's death was not an accident, but rather an attempted murder that seems to be covered up by the police. "We're sure there's a criminal element to Ivana's death. We don't trust the police report because they haven't provided photos or reports from the scene," he added. Ivana's father, Marcel, contacted the Dutch ambassador to Interpol, believing it's impossible for Ivana's naked body to fall from the 20th floor without anyone noticing for 7 to 8 hours. He suspects that the high railing at the apartment and the lack of witnesses suggest a murder attempt disguised as suicide. Around 10 a.m., Ivana was believed to have fallen from the 20th floor balcony. Strangely, her body wasn't found until 3 p.m. Ivana was 1.81 meters tall, while the balcony railing was only 1.20 meters high, meaning she could only fall if she leaned over. With no satisfactory explanation from the authorities, Ivana's father and family decided to hire former detective Mark Williams Thomas to investigate her death further. Mark proposed a shocking theory about Ivana's sudden death. The lack of blood around her body suggested she might have died before falling, pointing to the possibility of murder. "I don't believe she intentionally went over that balcony. It can't be suicide, and she must have been injured before her death," Mark said. He argued that the police's theory was unconvincing, and all evidence pointed to Ivana dying before falling. Mark theorized that something might have happened after Luna left the apartment to take her daughter to school. Maybe Ivana was drugged or injured. Something definitely happened in the apartment around the time Luna left. Ivana might have fallen, or she might have been beaten, Mark explained. Ivana's family requested a second autopsy. Forensic pathologist Frank Vanon found that Ivana had serious injuries to her head and arm, as well as traces of cocaine in her system. Something happened before she fell from the balcony. Maybe she slipped or someone hit her on the head. Bruises like this can only occur while the heart is still beating, Frank revealed. Ivana's father, who identified her body with Lucas, noted bruises on Ivana's neck that looked like finger marks, as if someone had gripped her there. Lucas also disputed the police's quick conclusion that Ivana's death was a suicide, stating that Ivana never used drugs voluntarily. "I never knew she did drugs. We often went to the gym together, and she led a healthy and active lifestyle," Lucas said. "Ivana enjoyed a glass of wine like most people, but she never used drugs," her boyfriend Lucas said. He also emphasized that Ivana had no reason to take drastic measures like suicide. "She was so happy. I find it hard to accept that this was a suicide. If there's anyone who would be least likely to do that, it's Ivana. She was always full of life," Lucas insisted. Despite this, Lucas is determined to fight for Ivana's case, claiming that the police mishandled the investigation. "It's so painful, and I just want justice for Ivana." The police said it was suicide and closed the case. They labeled Ivana's death as a sudden death from a drug overdose and a fall from the balcony, Lucas said. Lucas also criticized the lack of professionalism and interest from the police in the investigation. He noted that the police didn't even try to contact family members when reviewing the night's footage. "I'm really angry. Why haven't I seen a clear timeline from the police or any CCTV footage from the apartment building? Were there any other people in the apartment at that time? What really happened? It's like no one cares. Everything has gone so quiet. The police need to investigate this incident more thoroughly," Lucas added. Lucas also revealed text messages from Johnson's friend trying to damage his relationship with Ivana. One message claimed that Ivana wanted to break up and had nothing good to say about Lucas. However, Lucas dismissed these allegations as lies. Meanwhile, the Kuala Lumpur Medical Examiner's Court has stated that Ivana's death is not a criminal case. Ivana's family plans to appeal this decision. The court reached its decision after reviewing testimony related to the case, with Alexander and Luna Johnson choosing to avoid public attention despite being called to court. The judge considered that, although there were indications of a crime, there was not enough evidence to determine exactly what happened between Ivana and the couple. Sebas Dexra, who represents Ivana's family, wants to highlight the Johnson couple's absence as a serious indication about the case, and also the way the police handled the investigation after the apartment was cleared out before authorities arrived. Dexra also wants to point out the many mistakes that were overlooked in Ivana's initial autopsy, a point also raised by Dutch forensic pathologist Frank Vanon. Frank Vanon believes that Ivana's body temperature wasn't considered in the medical examination, which is crucial for determining whether Ivana was still alive when she fell, potentially affecting the investigation's conclusions. Since the American couple ignored calls from the Malaysian court, Ivana's family decided to file a lawsuit in the U.S. Civil Court in May 2019. They're demanding answers and clarification from the couple about the case. Documentary filmmaker The Zan, who came to Malaysia to investigate, asked the apartment cleaners if they were called to clean the place. When Zaman tracked down Luna and confronted her directly, he asked why she requested the apartment to be cleaned. Luna explained that she felt Ivana's family was attacking them without proper investigation. The Johnsons decided to fight back by suing Ivana's family, claiming they're innocent and have been defamed for a year and a half. The Smith family, who have suffered greatly due to Ivana's death, felt compelled to continue the legal process, even though it was the last thing they wanted. The Johnsons also sued Zan and his team for allegedly spying on them illegally, asking invasive questions to Luna, and revealing their location to the public, leading to death threats. Now everyone knows where we live, and we get hate mail and threats every day, the couple said. They're not only targeting Zaman, but also private detective Mark Thomas, suing him for manipulating Ivana's investigation to fabricate evidence and pressure witnesses for personal gain in the case. While Mark has been reluctant to respond to the accusations against him, Zaman has revealed that he wasn't aware of any claims from the Johnsons. Ivana's uncle, Fred, bravely faced the threats and emphasized that their efforts to seek justice wouldn't be swayed by the Johnsons' intimidation. "There's no way we're going to be silenced as a family. These threats only strengthen our resolve," he said. By the end of 2019, the court ruled that Ivana's death was caused by a third party. The case cooled down for a while, but gained attention again when the Netherlands decided to conduct further investigations, leading to a murder inquiry by the police in 2021. Malaysian Prime Minister Ismail Sabri promised Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte that Malaysia would do everything possible to speed up the investigation into the truth behind Ivana Smith's death in 2017. According to Ivana's family lawyer, Cbus, Prime Minister Rutte has worked hard to push Ismail into action, and Ismail has committed to seeking justice for Ivana. As the investigation continues, the case remains unsolved with many questions still unanswered. Was Ivana's death an accident or a meticulously planned murder? To this day, the case isn't fully resolved. Do you believe the police have investigated this case thoroughly and fairly? Are you confident that the case will end with justice for all parties involved? That's the rundown and the lingering questions surrounding the mysterious case in Kuala Lumpur. Even though various theories have been suggested, Ivana Smith's death still leaves behind a mystery and haunting questions. One theory is that Ivana might have been hired by Alex and Luna to fulfill their sexual fantasies, with Luna feeling jealous of the attention Alex gave to Ivana. Did this tension spark a terrible tragedy? The truth seems to be hidden in deep darkness, and only time will reveal the secrets behind Ivana's death. Her family and loved ones deserve clarity so they can find peace and justice. Thanks for joining us on this journey to uncover the mystery with I Felt the Dark. If you have any clues or thoughts about this case, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on our other mysterious and shocking stories. Join us in the search for truth and stay with us as we chase the dark shadows still enveloping this world.